So today's practice is going to be a bit of a flow. It's going to be developing up into a greater intensity. But it's a flow that makes pose and then adds and then keeps adding. So there's some muscle memory, but we're always in a little bit of a state of surprise, brahmana, surprise, kind of that expansion, as we're also learning something new with each repetition of this flow. So when we're doing flow, we want to make sure that we're doing this slowly and quietly and calmly. So slowly is like when you're walking. If somebody says slow down, it doesn't mean that you take a step and slow, and then take a step and slow. So the movement to that position is fast, but then you slow down. We want to make sure that when we're in our asana, moving through, that the whole movement is slow. It's like that slow, mindful walking. You can feel the leaving of one foot as you move to step to the another. So the whole movement is slow. So for my friends who are jujitsu, we've heard our coaches say, slow down. That doesn't mean stop and hold. It means slow the move down. And that's what we're going to be doing, making sure that we're doing in flow, that the whole move is done slowly. So let's go ahead and just start. Just letting yourself come onto your back. We'll get a little bit of warm up first. So we move towards this flow. And drawing the knees into the chest, give a little squeeze, and then let your feet come back to the floor, snuggle back in, finding good posture, center the pelvis, shoulder blades back of the head. And then we'll go ahead and do that again. Draw the knees in, and this time take feet to ceiling, let your ankles roll a little bit, and then draw the knees back in. This time we'll bring forehead to knees, getting into a little bit of that ball, and then taking the feet back down. Taking arms overhead, feet up to the ceiling, flex the ankles, push through the heels, and go ahead and come right back down. And we'll do that again, taking both arms up, both feet up, press through, and then coming back down. Let's go ahead and just draw the right knee in, and letting the right knee move out to the side, back to center, up to the ceiling. Flex the ankle, looking for hamstring. Knee draws in, and you take a breath as you take the knee out and back to center. And one more time, take the foot up, in, and over. And we'll hold for a moment, and release. Let's take the left leg all the way down the mat. We'll do the same thing with the leg out. Knee tucks in, except this time we'll take that right leg out to the side by extending, and then draw the knee in. Let's do that again. Foot up, knee in, and way out to the side. Knee in, foot up, draw the knee in, and this time we'll take the knee just a little bit past the midline, keeping the back of the pelvis to the floor. So this right knee of mine is right over the midline of my body. And keeping it there, we'll go ahead and extend and then bend just a couple times. Maybe feeling it through the side of the leg, maybe into the back of the leg. Everybody feels things a little different. And then we'll hold here. And bring that knee back in. Left knee comes up to join. Both feet up, both arms over. And coming back, we'll find that small ball again. Releasing to the floor, this time just the right leg. And letting the left leg go out to the side. Center, up to the ceiling, flex, push through the heel. Draw the knee in, nice and slow, we're not rushing, just comfortable breathing here. You hold that knee to the outside for a few breaths. And bringing back to center, right leg down the mat and left foot to ceiling. Tuck the knee in, knee out to the side, and this time that left leg extends. And bringing it back in. Left foot to the ceiling. Right knee tucks, out to the side. We'll do that one more time. Go ahead and tuck it in. Out to the side. This time we'll hold. Making sure the back of that right pelvis is glued to the ground. And we'll tuck it back in. This time carrying the left knee across the midline of the body. Midline is here, knees just a little bit past it. Without rolling off the back of that left pelvis. And then we'll start that straighten and bend a couple times. Making sure the toes are pulling towards you. We haven't shifted off of that left hip. And now we'll go ahead and hold, push through the heel, toes tip, back of left pelvis is grounded, you're breathing. And we'll go ahead and tuck. Draw both knees in, feet up to the ceiling, push through the heels, reach through the fingers. We'll just hold this for a moment. And then tucking the knees back in, and knees to forehead and hold. And letting your legs go down the mat without letting them touch the floor. And we'll take both arms overhead. So upper body's off the floor, feet are off the ground. And we'll take right foot up to ceiling and hold. So shoulder blades are off the ground, face is maybe looking at the ceiling, arms line up at the ears, left leg is off the ground. It's not way up here, it's just an inch or two off the ground. We'll take that right leg out to the side and hold, keeping the back of the left pelvis on the floor. The right leg comes back. And lowering it to join that left leg. Heels are still just an inch off the ground. And left leg comes up. Hold. Out to the side. Keep the back of the right pelvis grounded. Don't tip over. And hold. And back to the center. Hold, watch that right foot, it doesn't drift out. Still reaching through the right heel. And left leg comes down to join the right and hold. And drawing knees in, forehead to knees, last little tuck. And release chest and head to the ground, feet to the floor. That's a lot on the neck, so if you're not used to it, let's go ahead and let the arms open out to a T, knees to the left, and just let your eyes, your head look opposite direction. Rolling over the back of the head, letting the floor just kind of hold your head for a moment. And we'll go ahead and find our way back on the ground, feet on the floor, arms to a T. And lifting up into bridge pose. Letting yourself come up just a little bit the first time and then coming down about halfway. And then again, lifting up, breathing in and coming down again about halfway. And again, lifting up, third time we'll hold. Feeling the rib cage pull towards the chin. And then letting yourself slowly down to the ground. Take both arms overhead. We'll look for a full body stretch here. Drawing right knee in, taking right toes to the ceiling. Pull that leg a little bit more towards you. And slow point and flex here. Full flexion. Go ahead and bend that knee. Left knee pulls in, maybe a little rock from side to side. Feet to floor, straighten yourself out if you need to. Right leg down the mat, left toes to the ceiling. Point and flex a few times. And then hold flexion. Go ahead and tuck, right knee draws up, give a little squeeze. both feet to the floor, shifting over onto one side, and we'll go ahead and sit up. So bring your seat bones to the blanket. And we'll start with the feet a little bit apart. Just go ahead and let yourself sit up. We're looking for seat bones to be on the ground. You can use the back of your hands, just finding a good strong spine. And then we'll let the legs go down the mat. Legs are straight as can be. You may need to bend a little bit. We're still looking for the back to be erect. So if you're sitting on the back of your tailbone, you may need to fold the blanket again and come up a little higher. And we'll take arms up and overhead. Exhale, just kind of open the chest. Breathing up again. Pull down, open the chest. One more time, reach up. Pull down. Reach up. And release. So go ahead and now let the knees drift out to the side. But the space between the heels and the groin is about 12 to 18 inches, so we're not really close, pretty far out there actually. And we'll do the same thing again, just use your hands to help lift up through the chest first. Belly button's gonna pull up that spine a little bit. Do that again, inhaling, exhale. Breathe in, exhale. Just waking up the back muscles. In, exhale, and this time I'm going to stay here and just create a twist. Make sure the left arm doesn't come around. Just really keeping the chest open up, so I'm not turning to the right. I'm keeping my chin in line with my sternum. Hold and breathe. And we'll go ahead and reach up again. Pulling the arms down, turn, hold and breathe again. Don't turn the head. Keep that chest, the chin lined up with the sternum. Oh, elbows wide open. This is just in the ribs. And we'll go ahead and reach up. And this time, letting your hands float down to your ankles. We get a little forward fold, stretching out the lower back. A little tuck at the tailbone. Inviting chin to rest towards the collarbone. Letting yourself come up about halfway to sort of re-engage the muscles at the back. And then we'll sit all the way back up. So let's go ahead and grab the blanket and we'll bring it to the center of the mat and start moving a little bit. So bringing the knees center of the blanket, hands comfortably underneath your shoulders. That's going to mean something different for everybody. If your 90 degree really bothers your wrist, the hands can move out a little bit. Holding steady into tabletop, tops of the shins grounded. We're going to take this left foot and step it out to the side. So it's a little bit above the knee and just a little bit below your hands. And we'll just make a couple of circles here with the hips. Maybe 2-3 times in each direction. Just slowing it down. Next time you find yourself coming back into center, we're going to let the right toes curl. Just push through that right foot a little bit, stretching into the Achilles. And then knee comes back to the floor. We'll step down and find simple child's pose. Just getting off the wrists for a moment. Sometimes it's nice just to let the wrists roll around. And then we'll come back up, table. Right foot steps out, so it's right in between the hands and the knee. We'll make those few rotations here. And turn your toes out a little bit if it's bugging your knee to keep your foot straight ahead. And then reverse, opposite direction. And then next time you find yourself just in the middle, go ahead and curl those left toes and just push through that left heel a little bit, letting that left hip straighten. And we'll bring the knee back to the floor, tuck the knee in. Let's do a little cat-cow. You want to come to your forearms if you want to give your wrists a little bit of a break. And then sinking yourself back, finding neutral table, and back we go. Big deep breaths down the back, unlocking the jaw. We'll go ahead and come back up into table. And this time the right foot's gonna start where the right hand was. And I'm keeping my left fingertips here, my right hand comes behind just for a little bit of balance as I sink back, keeping the ball of the foot on the floor rather than picking the toes up. And then go ahead and sink forward. We're looking to stretch through the Achilles here. And then back and forth a few times. Nice and slow. And next time that knee comes forward, just kind of linger there. You can got your hands here for support if you feel you need it. And then we'll take the left shin across. Go ahead and climb up a little bit, and we'll come back and forth a few times. Chest stays forward. So my sternum's facing the same direction as my toes. We'll pause here for a moment. And then go ahead and come up. Step down. Exhale, a little cat-cow. And then we'll do the opposite. Left foot comes forward. And that's sinking back. Ball of the foot to the floor. Sinking way forward. You've got your hands there for support if you need. And then the next time the knee comes forward, we'll swing the shin. And go ahead and lift your body up. Sternum faces forward. So you're in a little bit of a twist here. And just kind of rocking back and forth a few times. And then coming forward, we'll stay. Go ahead and straighten up, swing the leg back, hands come to the floor, we step back. Find a little table, and then cat, and cow. Elbows to the floor, and sink back, child's pose. Go ahead, come back to your table, walk the hands one handprint forward, so we're a little more stretched out now. And left foot. So now we're more in a low lunge. We'll go ahead and sink back, just maybe twice. Knee comes forward, shin swings over. We'll go ahead and come up. Looking, chest is forward. Again, we've got a little twist in the body. So the chest stays forward. We'll swing that shin back. We're in a low lunge. Let yourself sink a little bit. And then we'll bring the hands to the floor. Step back. Little cat-cow. Hands are still wide, a little bit apart. And then right foot steps forward, so we're coming right into the low lunge. You can always scoot that knee back if you feel like you need to. We'll get 2 rocks here. Shin comes forward, shin swings, knee comes forward, chest is still looking forward, climbing up, a little more spread out than that very first one we did. Keep having the chest forward, swing the knee, we're in low lunge now, just sinking through. Inviting that right seat bone to squeeze towards right heel, and then bringing hands to the floor, we step back. Cat-cow. Let's go ahead and curl the toes and we'll push back, finding dog. Little pedal through. Settling left heel towards the floor, we'll take right foot up to the ceiling, resisting that urge to twist the body, really keeping the shoulders and pelvis lined up. And then right foot comes where right hand was. We'll keep the left knee off the ground. And go ahead and climb up onto that right leg, lifting up through the chest. And we'll take left knee to the ground to a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shift over, send the knee forward. toes in the same direction as the chest now, looking for gate pose. Left hand comes to the floor, hips stay forward, right arm comes over, and you can pick up that right leg too if you'd like to. And bringing it down to the ground, left knee comes up, and we send that left foot forward. Turn and come to table. We'll come through cat and cow a few times. And finding your neutral table, curling the toes, finding dog. Paddling through a little bit. And this time right heel sinks down, left leg up to the ceiling, holding the hips and shoulders steady. And we'll sweep the left foot forward. Go ahead and come up. Right knee comes to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncurl, we'll swing the knee. Shift forward, chest is straight ahead. And we'll come up, those toes will turn. Right hand comes to the floor. Gate pose, fingertips to ceiling, to the ear. You can pick up that left leg. Bring it to the floor, right foot comes up and press. And we'll spin into tabletop. Exhale, cat and cow. And releasing elbows to the ground and table. And rising table, curl the toes, downward facing dog. Left heel to the ground, right leg rises. And right foot sweeps forward, high lunge. Left knee to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing the shin, chest stays forward. And back we go, finding that gate pose. Foot to the floor. Left leg comes forward. And this time we'll pivot into plank pose. Coming down through that reversed push-up. Inhaling just enough to lift. Peel yourself off the floor. And pushing into down dog. This time we'll take the right foot. Heel in the ground, left leg lifts. And stepping forward, left foot. Coming up, right knee to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll take the shin across. And left toes turn forward, right hand to the floor. Left leg lifts. Plant the left foot, right leg. And we'll turn into plank. Letting yourself down. Inhaling cobra, just enough to peel yourself up. Back into down dog. And this time we'll hold here. Just a breath or two. Releasing to tabletop and child's pose. Go ahead and get that blanket to the back of the mat so we have something to put our head on. And finding our way back to where we started, except this time we're on the floor instead of on the blanket. Feet apart, just letting your hands slide down. And then coming all the way out. We're just going to do this 2 or 3 times. Sliding down, each time letting the chin come in a little bit more. Inhaling, letting the body come up. Exhale. And this time stay. Arms are on the insides of your knees, breathing into the back. And then we'll go ahead and lift all the way up again, letting your legs come straight down the mat. Right knee pulls in, left arm wraps around, turning to look over the right shoulder, and we'll release, coming right back into that seated extended legs. And then left leg pulls in, right arm wraps around, maybe just the hand looking over that left shoulder. And once again, returning both feet out, down the mat. Bringing your forearms to the ground. Keeping your eyes on your toes. I'm going to press the shoulder blades down the back, inviting the rib cage to lift. You can keep your eyes on the toes. You can look to the ceiling. Some may feel comfortable letting the head look, eyes look behind you. You may want to stay with your eyes on the ceiling. Up to you where your neck feels the most comfortable. Full circle of the palm on the ground. And tuck your chin in. We're going to scoot ourselves down the mat about 2 inches. And once again, do the same thing, pressing the shoulder blades, lifting through the chest. And then go ahead and slide your feet up towards you and letting yourself coming down to the mat. Once your head's on the ground, find your good posture and we'll draw knees to chest again. And feet to ceiling, arms overhead, breathing in. And the exhale, everything comes back down. And again, breathing in. And everything back to center. One more time, feet up, arms overhead. And bringing the knees in. So letting your elbows rest on the ground as you breathe in, feet move away, knees move away. Exhale, just letting your hands slide up and down the thighs. Slowing it down. Next time your knees come in, let's give a little extra squeeze. And then releasing feet to ground. Shoulder blades come underneath, finding that center of the pelvis, making sure your clothing's comfortable. And then when you're ready, letting one leg go down the mat, making sure that feels comfortable. That is, go ahead and let the other one slide down. And Shavasana doesn't have to be both legs down the mat. You can put a bolster under your knees, or sometimes just having one knee bent and one leg down the mat is more comfortable on your lower back. Inviting the arms to be alongside your body, palms slightly turned towards you. You're welcome to close your eyes at any time that you are ready. And just starting with a little bit of wiggling of the toes. Letting wiggle everything you can, and then just inviting them to not move by letting go. Creating as much softness in the palm of the hand and the sole of the foot as you can get. I'm going to invite that sense of softness coming out through the wrists and through the ankles. And then coming up into the calves, feeling the muscles of the calves heavy, rounded on the ground, sort of flattening against the floor. Forearms resting against the ground too, elbows. Feeling the backs of the thighs and buttocks and the upper shoulders. These heavy places of our bodies. Inviting the waistline to release all the way around belly, side waist, and back. Inviting the chest to be heavy against the upper back. Inviting the muscles of the neck to release the head, the jaw unclenches. Inviting the tongue to release the roof of the mouth. And all the expression in the face, around the lips, the corners of the lips, the nose, across the cheeks, releasing across the temples, over the eyebrows, and across the forehead. And inviting yourself just to stay, rest, 6, 10 minutes, however time you need. And if you fall asleep, that's